Morning, guys. Another day, another blessing. I'm just gonna get straight into this one today. Today's question was centered around how do we respond to circumstances? How do we respond to things that are happening in our lives? And the first instinct that I had towards that question was I look to how I feel about something, then respond accordingly. Um, and the analogy that came to mind was if somebody passed on that I loved or I was close to, how would I feel? And I was like, okay, I'd feel bad about it, obviously. And then the other question was, okay, so if somebody who was responsible for killing thousands of people and creating genocide died, how would you feel then? Like, I guess I wouldn't feel that bad about it because he's responsible for killing so many other people. Um, but what I failed to realize is that in both situations, death was the circumstance, but how I responded to the same circumstance was different. So maybe responding with your emotions is not really the best thing. It was not ideal because it can be altered to the same situation but in different ways. So naturally, the second question I asked was, okay, then how do I respond to circumstances if I don't consider how I feel about the situation in order to respond to it? Not to say that I shouldn't feel a certain way, but I guess what I was supposed to take from that was that I should not allow my emotions to control me based on the circumstance or the situation, but rather to realize that I have the power to actually control how I feel about the situation. And the response to basically how I should respond, as opposed to how looking towards how I feel, it was to consider what I say about the situation. And I was confused for a second, and then it kind of dawned on me to say, remember the power that comes from your mouth, because what you speak with your mouth is in essence what the level of authority that you give God to play in your life. you know because God has the power, that's no doubt, but we have the authority to say, do it in my life. And we have to speak it for it to manifest. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So what you speak from your mouth will come from the depth of your heart. So there's a lot of power in what you say. You might not realize it, but there is a lot of power in what you say. If you keep saying, I'm no good, I won't do it, I'll fail, I can't, how do you expect to get the opposite of what you're saying? Because that's what you are innately believing. Hence, you can say it so easily with your mouth. So no matter how daunting the circumstances look, what you say about it ultimately affects the situation, not necessarily how you feel about it. So consider not how you feel, but consider what you say about the situation. Cheers, guys.